welcome to the day I learned about, the show where we answer the age-old question, how did Hitler tie his shoes? With little Nazis, of course. 1937, a party in Berlin. Hitler's personal physician makes the following statement. From close observation over many years, I have believed the Führer to be a borderline case between genius and insanity. I predict he will be the craziest criminal the world has ever known. He's right behind me, isn't he? That doctor was spot on. A few years later, the world's greatest countries would join forces to stop Hitler. Many would agree the world would be a better place without him. When a time machine gets invented, there will be a line around the block to assassinate baby Hitler.
If you're an asshole, you're more likely to be compared to Hitler than you are to the devil.
Like if the devil got called Hitler, he'd be like, ooh, ouch, hey, that's a bit harsh, bro. Okay, sure, Hitler did a real number on Europe, and he devastated the Jews. But let's not overlook all the little things he wrecked. For sure he ruined that little mustache. Good luck trying to pull one of those off anytime soon. And the swastika, if I'm going to be honest, is a really cool looking symbol. Very aesthetically pleasing, and for most of history it had a lot of very positive meanings. It was a spiritual symbol in Eastern cultures, and in the West it was a symbol of good luck. Hitler totally fucked that up. There isn't a hipster alive that would try to pull off the swastika t-shirt and a Hitler stash. I'm not conforming to your expectations, man. Charlie Chaplin wore it like this first. You just don't get it. I'm not a bad guy. I fucking love juice. Get him. And if you want a high five, it's all the way up, all the way down. 45 degrees is 9! So yeah, bad guy faux show. Like in every picture, he just looks so evil. I call this one, stop talking, I need to poop. But Hitler wasn't born history's greatest monster. We are but a sum of our total experiences. Our experiences are like ingredients. So exactly what ingredients would you need to make such a silly goose-stepping psychopath? His early life. Let's start with his constantly angry eyebrows. 1 part temper, brought to a slow boil from a strict, abusive father and an overindulgent mother. 1 part never really fitting in growing up. 1 part failed artist living in Vienna where the seeds of hate were planted. Hitler recounts in Mein Kampf that living in the streets, he adopted a harsh survival mentality which left him little room for consideration of kindness and compassion. Ironically, some of the few supporters of his artwork were Jews. The army. Next, add 2 parts nationalism stirred into an angry uniform. Hitler was super into cosplay. He had a uniform for every occasion. This guy really knew how to dress for success. And when you got legs like that, you show them off. He lacked purpose in life until he joined the Bavarian army in World War I. By all accounts, he was a good little soldier, receiving 2 Iron Crosses for bravery. Good work, buddy. That uniform made him feel like he finally belonged. He believed Germany had a great destiny. The defeat in World War I was a blow to national pride for all Germans, but what came next crushed the people. The Treaty of Versailles, it was punitive and meant to shame Germany. Important industrial lands were taken away. The standing of the army was reduced to almost nothing. Germans were made to pay exorbitant restorations to the Allies. The government printed so much money trying to keep up that inflation went through the roof. A loaf of bread cost a wheelbarrow of Deutschmark. When Germans surrendered, Hitler felt betrayed and he blamed the Social Democrats, Communists, and of course the Jews. Even though thousands of Jews died fighting for Germany. His time in the army got young Adolf's true talent noticed, his ability to talk. The army employed him as a propagandist. Now he got to do the 2 things he loved best. Polish shoes and shit-talk Jews. Why did Hitler hate the Jews? The next ingredient is critical. A little black heart. Take a sprig of VD, a swab of Ancestry.com, and a kiss for good measure. KISS being, keep it anti-Semitic stupid. For your message to catch on, you must exploit an existing prejudice within society. Hey Hitler, on a scale of 1 to 10, how racist are you? I would say I'm 9! Oh boy. In Mein Kampf, he points out how universally dismissed the Jews were. Europe in general was very anti-Semitic in the 18 and 1900s. It had been since the Middle Ages. Everyone hated the Jews. Just throw a reason against the wall and it would probably stick. Hitler pushed hypocritical views that the Jews were money-grubbing capitalists, yet somehow collectivizing communists at the same time. Whatever the problem was, he could blame the Jews. It's a simple answer to complex questions. Politically, a rock-solid strategy. Scapegoat? Check. But how do you get that heart to be the blackest of blacks? Well, nothing will blacken a heart like a little self-hatred. DNA shows Hitler possibly had Jewish and African ancestors. Best part about this is he might have known, and if he did, that would have been absolutely humiliating for him. One of my favorite theories about why Hitler hated Jews is that he contracted VD from a Jewish prostitute. However, we can all agree murdering 6 million people is a bit of an overreaction to getting chlamydia. Rise to power. The final touch is add a douchey little mustache for garnish, made of pure megalomania. By the time the Great Depression hit, Germany was so desperate for a savior, they were down to clown with whoever promised to make things better. Hitler was a demagogue of the highest order. His silver-tongued speeches connected emotionally to his audiences. Quick aside, would the person who proofread Hitler's speeches be considered the first grammar Nazi? Comments below. Anyways, his propaganda stuck to a few key points which he continuously repeated. He promises to return Germany to its former glory. He exploited the fear, anger, and prejudice of ordinary citizens. His policies were vague, but his slogan was strong. Make Germany great again, if you will. Time and power. Now serve him up on a plate of total tyranny. Hitler's grip on the nation was absolute. You could literally go to jail if you didn't do that stupid Hail Hitler salute. Hitler was a strong believer in the emerging pseudoscience of eugenics. They literally taught racism in school, how to pick out lesser races by studying charts. Hitler believed the German people were the Aryan master race, chosen to rule all other races. The ideal Aryan was beautiful, tall, blonde, blue eyes, athletic. I'm not sure Hitler spent a lot of time in front of the mirror. He was no prize pig, standing at 5'9", dark greasy hair, and having that face like he's either holding in or smelling the worst fart. Which was entirely possible. He was known to be quite flatulent. Irony aside, he strongly pushed his agenda to eliminate what he considered low people. Such people as ones with mental disabilities, alcoholics, gays, blacks, Slavs, and most famously, the Jews. He implemented programs of forced sterilization. Later, it turned into straight-up systematic destruction of these people. Over 6 million innocent human beings were put to death for no other reason than being born. This was a low point for humanity and must be remembered collectively by the world so it could never happen again. Being a woman in Hitler's Germany wasn't great either. A woman's main purpose is to have children. After 6, you get an award called the Mother's Cross. At 10 kids, Hitler automatically became the godfather to the 10th child. Doubly unfortunate for that kid was they were automatically named Adolf. Not sure if that applied to girls as well. Too long in the oven. His fall. Hitler's personality has been described as hysterical in nature. You don't say. Now let's do a health check on Hitler and see how he was doing by the end of the war. Physically, not good. Each morning the doctor would give him his happy shot, a haphazard mixture of vitamins, hormones, methamphetamines, oxycodones, morphine, and even bull semen to help him get a jump on his day. Mentally, not great. Hitler thought no matter what, his will was so great that he would prevail. Even in the end, somehow he thought his will alone would be enough to change everything. Okay, how about now? No, my fear. The Allies are still coming. He trusted no one, and the drugs made him only more paranoid. Rightfully so. There was up to 42 internal assassination plots. However, spiritually, also not doing so well. As Allies closed in on Berlin, Hitler knew there was no redemption for the things he had done. So in the last few days, he married Eva Braun, his longtime mistress, and then they planned their honeymoon, a double suicide. He decided a gunshot to the head after taking a cyanide capsule would do the trick, but he had doubts about the effectiveness of the cyanide. Now what I'm going to say next is going to bum you out, but you're watching a video on Hitler, so you're kind of asking for it. If you had any doubts about Hitler being just the worst ever, let me learn you a thing about his dog named Blondie. He loved Blondie, but he did not want her to fall into Soviet hands. So He tested the cyanide on her. Hitler, you're just the worst. Oh, I know. If I had a good feeling for every time I heard that. Welp, this is my rock bottom. My work here is done. Go. And join us next time when we share a Pol Pot crock-pot recipe that's to die for, likely in a field. So long and stay frosty.